it's the area that is above the higher y values that would fulfill the equation y is greater than. So using that, let's try another one. Let's try another intuition one here. So I've shown you two examples, two graphs here, and I'm looking for which one do you think represents y is greater than or equal to x plus 3. So raise your hand if you think it's going to be.
I definitely want to exceed in math. I want to get into like really high level classes in math. My goal is to try to pass the SAT where I can, for math, so I can get to the college that I want to go.
So at the beginning of the year, I decided that I wanted to incorporate the SAT as part of my classroom goal. Students come in and a lot of them have already passed the Hawaii State Assessment, and I think for them that bar is a little bit too low because they come in at that level. And so I was looking for something that was more rigorous, more practical, and at their level. I had planned out to give 4 SATs throughout the year, just the math section, and being able to track their improvement from each one.
In the beginning of the year, we set SAT goals, and basically it was what we wanted to score on the SAT based on the college you wanted to go to.
The first time we took our SAT, it was pretty intense because we didn't really learn much yet. But then after we started learning and getting into our normal routines, we learned a lot of stuff and definitely improved much more on our second time we took our SATs.
It's not exactly easy. We just took a piece of it and it was hard. And then we slowly build up and work more and more towards our ultimate goal.
I had them do a college project at the beginning of the semester where they researched a school of their choice and set an SAT goal that would fit within the acceptance criteria for that college. I think making them the active learners and active components in the class is something that not only builds investment but also teaches them some valuable skills.
Went to collegeboard.com and look up how much would the cost will be if we board there or don't. How do we get into there, and what kind of scores do we need, GPAs or scores that we need to get in for the college? I picked UCLA because their medical field is just awesome, and I heard that's really good.
You were training to take the real SAT and really get into the actual class.
I think it adds a degree of relevancy to what we're doing because so often the kids are just forced to take these standardized tests and they don't really know what it's for. They just know that 300 is passing and below 300 means they're not successful. At least with the SAT, there's a practical purpose behind it. It's tied to a larger goal, a larger vision with the college, and the kids can see that I need to get a 700 to get into Stanford. I need to get a 500 to get into this school. And by them improving, they're seeing they're on a road to something bigger, and it's something they can personalize.
It makes so much sense because like I really did not want to do it at all in the beginning of the school year, but as we slowly worked towards it, it started making sense to me as Mr. Cassidy explained it.
I've had a few that have already hit it so far, and we've taken 2, but I'm looking to get a large majority of the kids to hit their acceptance range SAT goal for the end of the year.
I think it's actually pretty cool. Taking SATs is like telling me how much farther more till I can get into my future college.
I think when you make this this college theme and this SAT theme a part of the classroom environment, you are making the kids think beyond the classroom. And I think that's a strong perspective to go into high school with, knowing that high school going in day 1, I'm on a track for a larger vision or a larger purpose.
Basically, he's preparing us for what we're going to see in the future, because in the future he's not going to be there to hold our hand and make sure that we do every step right. So he wants us to get comfortable.
S minus 0. Is S and S minus 0 the same thing? So did I change anything by rewriting it that way? No, and now it kind of looks like I do make the kids try to do as much as possible. Even just during group work, I try to really just reinforce the idea that the kids don't need me.
10. Okay, because it's an absolute value.
What did you have?
Thingy, two lines, yeah.
I would
be 2 lines.
I'm gonna have to make
I would think so because there's a 2 possibilities. There's not just one.
The expectations that I had for group work was, one, I wanted them to make me as useless as possible. I had an expectation that when students had questions within the group, it was them that tried to answer it first before asking me. All right, Tyler, these guys are doing the algebraic way. When they finish, explain to them how to do it the intuitive way, just so they can check their answer too.
Favorite thing is the group work because we come together as one and help each other to solve the problems.
And so from the start of the year, day 1, I had them in groups. and I set out the expectations very clear from the start, and I made sure that I hounded the expectations from day one. Just if the voice was too loud or if they weren't helping each other, why are you asking me the question when you have 3 smart people sitting next to you? And just reinforcing these concepts constantly.
Plus, oh no, mine is 2, yeah.
No.
Yes, because 2 divided by, oh wait.
1/2.
Half.
I think I hope it has taught them that they really don't need me for a lot of the concepts. And I've tried to transition my role to more of a facilitator and having the group work conduct the class.
Absolute value of x equals 13.
Presenting a lot, it feels actually good, and that it helps me know that I know the criteria.
When I have the kids presenting the problems to each other, they can speak a language that I can't. They can speak 8th grade math, and I'm speaking college level math and trying to break it down to an 8th grade level. It's more powerful when they're talking to one another. It's just a lot more believable when it comes from the kids because they see their peers doing it.
Can you explain why it looks that way?
Yeah. Alright, so say you have y equals x. That would just be a straight line like this. It would be like that, right? But when you do y equals the positive, the absolute value of x, all this negative right here gets flipped up because you don't have a negative number. The absolute value cannot spit out.
I see a lot more kids confident in themselves, a lot more confident in approaching math problems for the first time, and their performance, especially from a group of kids that I wouldn't even expect to be excelling in that department, have shown that they strive when they're teaching themselves and when they develop that confidence to do so.